despite the fact that we have no coverage. The international media were here. This is the big issue right across Europe. They see that the Irish people are rising. We have three times the number of people we had here in February. Yes. At the very least. Although RTE, if they report it, would say there's half a dozen people here. Make sure all of the pictures you take today. 1, 2. Make sure you share it all out across social media, nationally and internationally. In March, we showed this government what we thought of them by rejecting their 2 referendums. They're not even going to bother running the next one. On June the 7th, you will have an opportunity to say to this government what you think of them yet again. Make sure. Vote nationalists right across this country. We need nationalists in every council in this country. We need nationalists elected in the 3 Irish constituencies for Europe, where we will link up with other people of a like mind who are determined to stop the rot that's happening right throughout Europe. Most of the speakers you'll have here today are standing in the elections in June. Every one of you should tie in with your local candidate. Give them a hand, whether it's folding leaflets, being on social media if you can't get out of the house, sticking leaflets in doors, knocking on doors, or even just telling your friends and your relations that these are the people to vote for.
Do it! Share the stuff!
Now the first speaker,
Are you going in there?
Jana London. Susie Delaney after that.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jana London. I'm a mother of 2 small children and founder of the Natural Women's Council. And like the rest of you here today, I have come to the unfortunate realization that we've all been placed in an abusive relationship with the Irish government. Ireland holds a very special place in the hearts and the imagination of the world. Ireland is more than just another European country. I can tell you from personal experience, having lived here for over 20 years, that the Irish are the most welcoming, funny, charming people you could ever meet anywhere in the world. Irish people are not hate-filled, racist, bigots, homophobes, or any other labels that this pathetic Irish media tries to gaslight you with. It's a sacred duty of all of us who cherish this land, whether natives or guests, to realize that we are in grave danger.
Hear, hear.
Mass immigration is one of the most pressing issues facing Ireland. We don't need a poll to see that Ireland has taken in far too many migrants. I visited Newtown, Mount Kennedy last week. And I had the opportunity to meet the most lovely, brave people standing up against mass immigration to protect their community. The Garda put up a barricade stopping locals from walking down their own road. Locals have to go through a Irish sport they love. What we witnessed in Newtown Mount Kennedy when the riot squad used brute force, batons and pepper spray against peaceful protesters this was a turning point for Irish people. There can be no doubt in anyone's mind that the state and their agents are hell-bent on mass immigration into our communities against the will of all you good, decent people. And they will use whatever means they can to make this happen. We also witnessed on mainstream television that Irish people opposing mass immigration being referred to as terrorists. We can see the trajectory of where this is going, but they will fail. The fools, the fools, the fools. Have the Irish government not learned from history that repression breeds resistance? And I commend the people of Newtown Mount Kennedy. As the founder of a women's rights and child protection group, the Natural Women's Council, the evidence is so clear which is why it is so assiduously ignored. The stats speak volumes. In Sweden, foreign-born individuals represent a disproportionate percentage of rape convictions. And in Germany, foreigners are 12% of the population, yet 67% of violent gang rapes. This is not racism, these are facts. What is the call to action? We must stop the EU Migration Pact. It will further exasperate Ireland's immigration crisis. Denmark and Ireland are the only two countries that have the legal right to opt out of these mass immigration policies. Opt out. I also call upon our Garda Síochána. Any Garda Síochána here? I had an opportunity to speak to two Garda at Newtown Mount Kennedy. I read those Garda their oath. I reminded them that they must not be taking orders from a political party. So if there's any Garda here, you need to do your job. Taking orders is not good enough. Not good enough. And I'll wrap up in 2 minutes. I'm shaving lots off the speech. I say to hell with the propaganda spinning these so-called international. We have I'm offline again. We have more than paid our price. The last crisis we had was the banking collapse. People took 42% of the over. We have more than paid our price. So you've all heard of the Irish wake, but we're not far from it. Let's call for the... So we have learned, and I'll wrap up by saying that the politicians are saying that the Irish people need to learn their lesson when they do this no-blame COVID review.
Yes.
But what I will say to those notorious Irish politicians is the Irish people learned one thing, and that is that you cannot have democracy without accountability. So here's a message loud and clear to this Irish government. We demand we demand accountability for the mass immigration policies wreaking damage across the country. Yes. We demand accountability for the 40 billion euros you wasted during COVID when Sweden had no lockdowns. We demand accountability for our brothers and sisters who were injured or who continue to prematurely from the abject failure of government policy. Which one? That's the one. Okay, there we go. Switcheroo. We demand accountability for the sexualization and the indoctrination of our innocent children. sexualize its state-sponsored child abuse in our schools. And please visit naturalwomanscouncil.ie to see the campaigns and the new series Storytime for the Irish Mammy, so you can see what your children are being taught. And we demand accountability for the hundreds of Irish children who were sent across to the Tavistock to be given irreversible puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and mutilation surgeries. And finally, we demand accountability for the secretive attempts underway where this week on Wednesday, the Irish government are meeting to talk about the anti-democratic WHO treaty where they plan to sign away our freedoms and sovereignty to the unelected body. And if you're unhappy with immigration, let me tell you the WHO treaty includes health, immigration, education, food, farming, agriculture, climate, every aspect of life on earth. We're not hearing about that, and this is the loudest noise we need to make against the WHO treaty. Thank you very much.